Jason is still sleeping. It's 7:15, so that's why I have to be pretty quiet. Done my whole morning routine, made myself something caffeinated, which I always do a matcha cold brew combination. I know that sounds insane and like it would be really gross, but I promise you, it's not. You just have to find the right ratio of everything. It's actually what I've been bumping for like 2 months, 3 months, is a little bit of matcha, froth it up, add your milk, add your creamer if you want to. I think it tastes better with creamer, so I would recommend the creamer, but not too much. I don't like it too sweet. And then add like a splash of cold brew. It's actually so good. And then I just did some minor tidying. I think it's really easy to do that in the morning. It takes like 5 minutes to put dishes away, to like put clothes on a hanger, and just makes the rest of your day feel a lot better for some reason. I have my pottery, so my wheel class at 9 a.m. today. So I have about an hour-ish to do something fun, and that's why I'm filming today, is because last night I was thinking about it, and I really want to, look at this. Look at these cute little guys. I know it's kind of hard to see what they are, but these are little charms, I guess, or like little, I don't know how else to describe them. You can make them into jewelry, and I personally plan to make them into stitch markers. So these came in from Etsy like 2 days ago. I also have my jewelry making tools on the side. I have not even opened them yet, so I don't know what they look like. I've never made jewelry before. I've never made stitch markers before. But from like personal experience with buying stitch markers, I know kind of what kind of little stitch marker ends I like. The ones that I have here, I'll grab some to show you. Fun fact, I keep all of my knitting peripherals in a freaking, this is a headset bag that from a work headset that I got a long time ago. Lost the headset, got a replacement one from work, don't worry. Lost the headset, but kept the actual bag just to put my knitting stuff in. And then my stitch markers are in like a little pillbox case from Daiso. Okay, here's one of my favorite stitch markers. It's a little yarn ball. I'm sorry about the shaking. I'm not very good at this. It's a little yarn ball, and then more important, okay, is this top bit here. This guy. So this is actually flat, and again, I've never made jewelry before, so I don't know like the technical term for what that is. I think I found it. So if you're interested in making stitch markers on your own, I will link everything that I purchased below. Another one of my favorite stitch markers. Super cute. Got this from Boston Fiber Co. Your little yarn store in Boston. And then the same thing. Their like top bit is a flat little gold ring, and I will say that this stitch marker, the blue one, I like less than the yarn ball one because the ring up here, that's what it's called, ring, is smaller. Oh my god, I don't know how I can show you. This is the yarn ball one, this is the blue one. I'll do a close-up for you guys later because it's not working like this. But just know that the yarn ball one, the ring is a little bit bigger. So that way when I work on like 5mm needles, I can still use the stitch marker comfortably. And I find that sometimes when I'm working on a bigger project or a project with bigger needles, this little guy doesn't work that well because it gets caught because the ring isn't that large. So I was like, okay, I need larger rings. I don't remember what millimeter this is. I think this is 10 or 12mm jump rings, and importantly, they have to be soldered close and flat. So those were the keywords that I typed into Etsy. I did get a set of smaller ones anyways, just in case. I don't know, I thought it'd be fun to experiment. And then I have no idea what I'm doing, but I got these like tinier jump rings. Oh, actually it's better if I don't do that. Hopefully it has like the connector bit between the little charms and the actual ring for the stitch marker. Now I want to show you some of these charms that I got from China. I have a whole bunch of them here. My sister and I kind of went crazy at a store. I don't even know what kind of, like how to describe the place that we went to get these, but it was like an outlet for all things fabric and sewing. So there were like tons of buttons, tons of fabric. I think it's mostly for like if you wanted to mass produce something or like semi-mass produce something. but we were just there for the cute little things. And I was initially going there to look for buttons, and there was one vendor that was selling these super cute little, I guess charms are the best way to describe them. This phone camera holding it up to the front thing is not working, so I'm gonna just do an overview for you so you can see what I got. What I want to do this morning is my goal is 5 stitch markers. I have no clue for how long this will take me. My goal is 5, and I hope that's not a stretch goal. This is a little bit skinnier than I expected it to be, but they were like $20. It's kind of nifty. I like it. Even if I hate the tools, I could totally repurpose this little holder as like a knitting needle holder. Okay, what do I think I will need? Probably will need this. It's like a sharp tip plier situation. Maybe this is even pointier. And maybe this is like a curved one. I have no idea. Let's start with those. I have not watched any videos. I'm literally going into this raw. And honestly, at this point, I do not feel like I want to watch a video. I kind of like the idea of going into it raw. Okay, some of these little charm guys I'm noticing have, or actually most of them, have like a little split ring. Okay, I grabbed my other camera because the iPhone was just not cutting it. Maybe this way you will be able to see a little bit better. Yeah, I love the autofocus. So you see that little tiny ring at the top? That is, I believe, from my preliminary research, that is a split ring. So I actually don't even think I need these little tiny connector guys. Probably I can get away with just attaching the bigger ring onto the split ring and then calling it a day there. So I think I just have to like pry open the split ring, stick it in, close it up. Should be good to go. Seems easy enough. Oh my god, okay, that was actually insanely hard, but I think I got somewhere. And I want to show you my first little stitch marker. Oh my god, can you see it? So, I ended up not treating that little split ring situation that came with the charm as a split ring. I just like treated it, oops, drop that, as like a malleable piece of wire. So then I looped it once around the top ring, the closed loop jump ring, and then I just kind of wrapped it around itself because that's what I've seen my other stitch markers look like. So, oh my god, my first little stitch marker. That is so freaking cute. Let me put it on a needle and see if it actually like functions how I expect it to. I'm working on a sock right now, and these are 3mm needles, and boom, it goes on. Oh my god, it's so cute. I can't believe I did this. That's so freaking cool. Okay, let me show you guys. Ah, isn't that the coolest? I can't believe I did that. That's crazy. Okay, hold on. I have to take this stitch marker off because it's not supposed to be on the sock and I'm gonna majorly confuse myself later. But how cool is that? Oh my god. That took me 40 minutes. It is almost 8 a.m. now. I think I can speed up a little bit now and just like bump out 4 more of these. I'm gonna try to do a different little charm because I think that'd be really cute. There's also these longer guys, which I'm not sure I want to turn into stitch markers. I just don't know how that would look. I feel like it's a little too bulky to be a stitch marker. So I might put that on hold. Okay, I have my 4 charms laid out right here. I'm gonna get to work. Also, tools wise, I found that this flat one is actually super useful. If it will please focus. There you go. This one's actually really useful, so it's flat, it's not the curved one. And then sometimes the curved one was useful, just to like get into like if my wires are in like a crazy angle. And then yeah, like this one hasn't been that useful so far. I think this is probably more for like for working with beads. What do I know? I don't know anything, spoiler. So I'm gonna keep progressing with my 2 little tools here, and we'll see if I need other tools along the way.
A few moments later.
Okay, the second one is way more mangled than the first one. I feel like the second time you do anything is always worse than the first time you do anything because you go into it with less care, and that's probably what I did. It's like a little bit crooked. I'm not sure you're gonna be able to tell, but the join is definitely crooked. I can totally tell, bro. It's super crooked, but it's not like I'm selling these, so this is for personal use, and it's okay if they're a little mangled. And I definitely mean it when I say mangled, because like the wire, the join wire, I've been twisting it so much that the plating has come off a little bit. So it just looks a little crunchy. She looks crunchy for sure. But hey, cute, and it's not gonna stab me, and that's the important part. Okay, 2 down. This one was way faster because I worked with the coil, like in the direction that the wire was coiled in instead of against it, which is what I think I did for the previous one, which is why it's so wonky, because I had to like not only turn it around itself, but also untwist it from its initial coil. So I got a little smarter this time, okay? And I worked with the wire in the direction that it was already coiled in. So, hey, a little green guy. Okay, I did it. I made 5 little stitch markers. Let me hold them all up so you can see them all together. Oh, boom. Here they are. 5 little stitch markers. One of them, the first one that I did, is in the smaller hoop size. So I can't remember the numbers, but I will put it on the screen and also in the description. This is a smaller one. I think it's 10 millimeter, can't remember. And then the 4 others I made in the bigger ring size because I just want them to be more versatile. Like I want them to be able to be attached or be used on projects with like 5, 6, maybe even 7 millimeter needles. I don't know. I'll have to check to see how far up they go. I believe, actually I'm not gonna say anything. I was gonna say I believe this is 8 millimeters, but I could be talking out of my ass. So I don't know. Everything will be below and on the screen. Yay! Okay, my fingers low-key do hurt a little bit because of like all the twisting you have to do. But I've gotten way faster since the first one at making these. They are nowhere near perfect. They are very janky. And some of these little charms have thicker wires. They come with thicker wires, and those ones are like struggling. They are very stripped. So good thing I'm not trying to do anything with these except use them personally and maybe give them as gifts to my friends. The nicer looking ones. I was actually thinking while I was making these that like I have a friend who just started knitting. She lives about an hour away from me. I might make like 5 and just give it to her. That's like a good excuse to hang out. Anyways, when you live an hour away from a friend, it's like such an awkward time because it's an hour is a pretty significant drive, but it's also not super far, so you feel like you should be seeing each other more often. I don't know, it's like a weird dichotomy. But anyways, if I make stitch markers, it'll be like a perfect excuse to hang out and maybe knit for a little bit and grab a coffee and like walk around town somewhere in the middle between us. So I was like thinking of that, and then I was thinking, oh my god, like I could probably make stitch markers for this person and this person. And yeah, as you saw in the beginning, I have a lot of little charms. I don't know that I'll turn every single one into a stitch marker, although TBH, I have more earrings than I could possibly wear, so maybe I don't need to turn these into earrings. But actually, even like little, I don't know, bag charms or something like that, or phone charm, hear me out, or phone charms coming back, because I would love it if they came back. Like this little guy is a phone charm, super cute. Oh my god, I just had a thought. To give these to like my friends and stuff, I could take a little piece of twine and like Oh my god, and loop like 4 or 5 or however many stitch markers onto the twine and tie it in a circle, and that's like the perfect, like, I have twine. That is so good. Okay, but that's all for this video. Maybe I'll insert some pictures and stuff if I end up making more charms and like attaching them to twine. I'll put them on the screen so you can see what that looks like. But other than that, thank you guys so much for hanging out and for watching, and go get some charms. Buy them from wherever, it doesn't really matter. All the jump rings and like jewelry making stuff that I've bought and used today will be down below. So if you want to just go ahead and try this out, hopefully this is enough to get you started. I don't know, it was enough to get me started, but then my little charms came already with little hoops, little rings. So it really depends on the charm that you have, I think. Anyways, regardless, have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.